Welcome back to Lifestyle. You know what? If you're anything like me, electronics, I just want them to plug in, do what they're supposed to, and disappear. I don't want to see it on the wall. Whereas my husband, he loves the gadgets. He loves the latest and the greatest. And you know what? That's why Richard Friesen of Absolute AV is perfect balance for both of us. We're going to be talking to him. But first, take a look at this clip.
What used to be called home automation, we'd like to call pure control. Just seemed like common sense. Implement your custom Pure Control solution into your home and business today. Absolute AV Consulting.
Okay, so that video to me tells it all. When everything works and functions and it's easy. And that's what Richard calls pure control. We're here with Richard Friesen. Glad to have you back, Richard.
It is great to be back. Thank you.
Well, you are a sought-after speaker, too. I was just asking you, I know you've got something coming up in March, and we'll be announcing that when you come back on the show, but a lot of people come and listen to you and consult with you, and, you know, I was reading on your website, so many of your clients say that you make it easy because it can be so confusing, and just like we just saw that clip, you want everything to just work very easily. Tell me about Absolute AV and what you do over there.
Well, what we do is make things easy. That's probably the best way to say it. There's a lot of daunting things out there with technology. There's so much out there that it's just a full-time job to keep up with it. And what we do is sort through all of that and then listen to my clients and find out, okay, what is it that they really want to accomplish? And then we figure out how to make it work. And how to make it work, I mean, it really has to do with not everybody wants the same things. Like my husband and I we love music. I mean, it's so important to us how we hear music and how it functions in our home, whereas other people really want to be able to control their entire home. And you do that with the heating, the AV, all of the, you know, your audio and visual. Tell me all of the categories that really are covered. Basically, anything and everything.
Okay.
And I'm kind of overstating that, but that's true. We can monitor and control your traditional audio video, your music, your television, your DVR, you know, that type of thing.
Which is it's your basic, right?
Your basics, as well as your music collection via iTunes or even old school vinyl or whatever medium that you have to listen to. From there we can go to the HVAC or temperature comfort of your home. We can do security. We don't do the security systems, but we can tell you, is it armed, is it not armed, is there an issue that you need to take care of, from home safety type issues like is there water in the basement, and you know, is my water heater just flooding?
Really?
We can notify you with that, or temperature variances. For instance, a second home or a vacation or a ski lodge. If it gets too cold, obviously pipes freeze, so you want to know. So we can notify you of that. Observation cameras or cameras around who's at the front door, or is everything okay before I get there, to, you know, I just drove around the corner and did I turn the lights off, and is the garage door open? That's the famous one, because nobody can see their garage door when you're a block away.
Exactly.
And so we can tell you, is it open or is it not, and give you the ability to close it. In fact, if you did leave it open accidentally, to, you know, when the kids get home, or if the dog needs to be let out, we can even water the dog automatically if that's something that you want to do.
I love that. Even take care of the cat. They can dump
why not? That's right.
It's like, you know, they're all self-sufficient. Well, it's funny because so many of those videos that now that you see on the funny videos is taken because people have the security, and you know, they'll like, there was one of this cat that literally saved this little boy's life. This dog came and tried to, you know, grab him, and the cat, you know, anyway, pounced on it, and of course they caught it because of the security. But it's so important. But I'm sure you get a lot of calls. I know even as a designer, I get a chance to design home theaters. This is so much fun to be able to say, don't have to go to the theater. I can watch in my own home and have an incredible system. Now, you do a lot of that. We're going to take a look at some of the work, and I want you to tell me some of these. Oh, I mean, this is great. This even says cinema.
It does. We can do. This was the entire look. The owners wanted not only the movie experience once they were in the room, but on the way. So, movie posters. You know, this one happened to be a little more of a period type piece as far as the decor. So, ticket window, cinema lighting. You turn the corner on this one, and there's a concession bar with candy cases and lit things like that. The owner's favorite actor happened to be John Wayne, so we got a movie poster that's appropriate.
And you can get all of those elements.
Yes, we can.
Oh, that's
nice.
Yes,
we can. To making sure that you can powder your nose in the right place. To the vista of another room. This one happened to be a theater within an open space. Kind of a little bit different, a bit of a challenge to get everything to sound and look right, but the end result, the owner was thrilled. It sounded great, looked great, and
it kind of makes you feel like you've entered another space, even though it is open concept. When you enter that black, it looks like, you know, the black area. It's like you are ready now to relax, watch this movie. It kind of gave you that feeling.
It did. It did, and that was the end result. To a pure theater room that's set up with tiered seating and electrically operated recliners. To they're actually heated as well, so you've got all the comfort, literally every comfort around, and great sound, great picture, convenience, and your own popcorn cart in the back.
I'm not sure you would ever get some people out of that. I mean, that's
that's true. There's the lady of the home always says she knows exactly where to find her husband.
Oh,
now.
exactly. And do you have to? I'm sure these people had to put that candy under lock and key. I mean, I can see that just getting swiped out pretty quickly.
Right. So, you know, we can even monitor that, I suppose.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Send an email if someone was in it when they shouldn't be.
Somebody's in the candy. Yes. Yeah, a little lock and key. But so the home theaters, you can take care of all that with the surround sound, making sure that you have. But what I like about you is that, and you know how important this is to designers, hiding technology.
Yes.
It's important.
Absolutely, it's vital, because everybody out there doesn't like to see everything that makes it work. They like to see the end result. You want to see a great picture on your screen or on your television, but you don't necessarily want to see the 4,000 parts behind the scenes that make it work. And that's where we've it's fun. I like the challenge of, you know, I have this great space, I have this great wall, and I want an 84-inch screen, but when I'm done, I don't want anybody to know that it's in the room, that it's in the house. And there's been a lot of compromises between husband and wife, and interestingly enough, you'd be surprised at how many times it's the wife that wants the bigger screen than the husband, but they just don't want to see it when you're done.
Exactly. And hide all of the components.
And that is what is so fun.
But now usually the guys, they want to see that subwoofer, right?
See it, feel it, touch it, you bet.
And the wife is like, it's so big and black, let's cover that up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we talk about taking something and putting it on your smartphone or your iPad. Let's talk about when you see that, how those components work. We've got some images. Then will you walk us through to help it make sense for those of us who might be a little technically challenged?
Yes. Well, what we do, and the beauty of it is it's totally custom. This particular screen, you have there's 4 choices down the right-hand side, and you touch the button, and it does whatever it is that you just chose. So if it says watch TV, you push that button, and everything that needs to happen for you to watch TV does, and you can adjust volume, and you can, in fact, you even get a little visual of what the volume level is.
Okay.
Just so you
that makes it pretty simple.
Very simple.
So now
or in this particular one, this was in a theater where they had could game in the area. You could show things off your computer. A video server in which basically their entire movie collection was at their fingertips via that particular option, and traditional television.
Okay. And
by the way, those the screens, the actual draperies open and close based on what you push, so you know exactly what you did.
oh, that's good.
So
Get a little action there, so I
That's
know,
right.
ooh, what did I do? And the draperies keep opening and closing, opening and closing. Oh, I pushed the wrong button
Yeah.
again.
And then when you're watching television, this can come up, and you have an indication as well as everything at your fingertips. You can change channels the traditional way of punch in 121,
Okay.
if that's what you'd like, or more than likely channel 5. And then you have
course.
the other icons there of your favorite channels that you can add to, subtract to. It tells you what program you're on.
Right.
We can even tell you that it's sunny and 50 degrees outside, which is current, or you can adjust the temperature yourself. This particular page just shows you, it's going to give you a visual of what's the temperature set out and give you the ability to change it. I want it cooler, warmer, and you naturally want to start with your own theater, and that's a little personalized start to it.
Oh, I like this. So you just press that, and of course this is the
And
current
if you-
temperature.
that's
This
right.
is not our current temperature,
No,
but
this is not today, right now.
Yeah, right,
But
but
should
you
you
could.
want to, find out the weather forecast, you can hit the little weather icon, and it takes you there. Tells you if there's an alert, like a thunderstorm warning or tornado warning or
Right.
that kind of thing, and gives you the 5-day forecast or 10-day, or we can even give you radar if you really want to watch radar just to find out what's going on.
Right, so really everything that you want to do, you can do it right from your iPad. Is it also available on your mobile? Can you see it that well, or do you need to do it on an iPad?
It should be on a tablet because it makes it easier of some kind, because
Okay.
you just have more real estate to look at.
Right.
The phones tend to be more notifications and turn it on, turn it off.
Okay.
I'm getting close to home, so I want to make sure the temperature's right, the lights are on, that kind of thing. The right ambiance is there. That's what your phone is usually for.
Right.
Because if you're like me, you just can't read the weather forecast on your phone.
I know, it's too small. I keep thinking, can't we blow this up? One thing that you say is that you need an AV system plan. I think it's good to have a plan for everything, but do you find that a lot of people just sort of, they get this concept of, I'm going to create a theater, they rush out, they get the television, they get maybe a subwoofer, and they kind of throw some things around, and then it's just not quite right. I mean, tell us about making a plan.
Yeah. Well, the core is taking the space that you have and then working your way out from it. Because there's some spaces that what you want just won't work. It won't sound good, it won't look good, and then we have to tailor it, well, what if we move this wall a foot? Is that possible? If it's
Right.
not, then here's the best that you can do, because everything, to get everything to work at its peak, it needs to be matched to the space, to the owner's likes and dislikes.
What would be like an optimal size, if you're starting small, for a theater room? I mean, would you say like a 10 by 10? Could you do it in an 8 by 10? I mean, what is the size that you generally would need to start out with?
If you are looking for a pure theater, space where you want a large screen, make it worthwhile, 14 by 18 is kind of a great start.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not a set in stone, but that's a great start.
Okay, and generally like a 14 by 18, how many people could you seat?
In a space like that, comfortably 4 to 6, depending on what
Okay.
type of seating that you use. And,
Okay.
if you want everybody to recline, you probably get 4 people in there.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. I mean, that gives people kind of they can measure their space and see, okay, can I actually start thinking about this, so they can contact you. Then you can tell them all the components that they're going to need in that space for the theater. And then also just to make a plan for their entire AV system.
Exactly.
To make a plan. One thing that you talk about too is, and I think this is really important, that good sound doesn't equal loud.
That's very true, because I'm thinking back to a couple of TV commercials from years past where when he turns his system on, his hair goes straight back. Dramatic, but maybe not something that everybody desires. So what the key is, and it's very true, is a great sound system sounds the same whether it's at a conversational level like we are now, or if it's turned up and you know, Bigfoot's raiding the city. That's the mark of a truly great sound system, is what does it sound like at a low level, and it should sound exactly the same as at a loud level.
Right, right. And so, so your hair shouldn't be blown back, and you don't necessarily need to be thumped in your seat. So that's a good, you know, that's a good place to start.
That's right.
Well, you always give us great tips on AV. We've been putting your number up here as well so that people can contact you, because really you need to consult with someone before you go out and purchase all of those components. You do not want to make a mistake and have to backtrack. So, Richard, thank you for sharing with us your great knowledge, and we'll be seeing you again here soon, and hopefully you'll let us know where we can come and hear you speak next time you come on.
Will do. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, you know, ilex is one of our favorite. Did you know that flowers actually have a language all their own? You know, our logo is a Gerzania, and that's a Gerber daisy, which means loyal love, and a zinnia, which means goodness. Now, if you don't know the language of love, you might need some help, and you can contact ilex. They can send the right language to your sweetheart or to a good friend. It's 736-5200. And coming up, if you have a Palladian window, a bay window, or maybe a casement window, you're going to need to cover it. So we're going to take you back to Window Treatments 101. We're going to take you back to the basics right after the break.